Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm so close I could taste sweet victory. I know this life meant for me. Yeah, why would you bet on Goliath when we got Bet David? Valuetainment, giving values contagious. This world of entrepreneurs, we get no value to hate it. How they run, homie, look what I become. I'm the one.
All right, with all the crazy things that's going on, episode 405, we were not going to do a podcast today, but we decided to. Right after this, we got to run to the airport. But a lot of crazy things are going on campuses that we got to kind of talk about. I got a few stories here. One, all the stuff that's going on with Columbia University, with Eric Adams being upset at what they're doing, taking the flags down, telling them you got to put the U.S. flag back up, and then AOC slamming Eric Adams and saying Columbia University for NYPD raid of campuses. And then at the same time, Biden sitting there considering giving some Palestinians refugee status. There's just a lot of stuff going on right now. Lots of agitating going on right now. And I want to answer one question that we talk about here on the podcast. And that question is, who is all of these universities that are not doing nothing about it? Who's their number one customer? I'm going to tell you stats who their number one customer is and why no one's doing anything about it. The deans are sitting there saying it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Obama said on the podcast he was with Jason Bateman saying Trump's not considered a serious guy in New York. We'll talk about that. We have Marjorie Taylor Greene reveals she will try to oust Speaker Johnson next week. And at the same time, just yesterday, the House passes anti-Semitism bill as Johnson highlights campus protests. And I mean, I understand they're kind of doing a knee-jerk reaction, kind of like what Tom said earlier, but I'm not sure that's the right move right now to show strength. And, hey, here's what we're going to put in here. Let's silence people and you give people a chance in the future to do it even more. We'll talk about that here a little bit today. Substitute teacher, we haven't shown this video. We will. Substitute teacher gets called the N-word by a kid, and he just destroys the kid. And you got to see this clip if you haven't already. OnlyFans investigated over fears it has exposed children to pornography. Then we have another story from CNBC. Ready for this one? Why hundreds of U.S. banks may be at risk of failure. CNBC, why hundreds of U.S. banks may be at risk of failure. Wait till you find out why that is. California's EV goal, $20 billion. To me, 2045 demand is kind of being messed up by one guy that they kicked out of the state. His name is Elon Musk, because Musk is sitting there saying, look, all this bullying shit you're doing, and I'm a bad guy. Musk undercuts Tesla's Chargers. Biden landed as a big deal. Biden desperately needs Musk to get these Chargers done. And Musk is kind of saying, yeah, no, I'm not interested, especially for as much as disrespect you're giving me. I'm not interested in doing that right now. Obviously, we're speculating, and it's allegedly, but we'll get to the allegedly here in a minute. Justin Bieber sparks fans' concerns as breaks down in tears. Fed removed 250 cameras from Diddy's homes. Doc complains. I think this is the TMZ doc that came out. I think that's what it is, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. Bill Maher mocks Don Lemon to his face. We'll talk about that. Taylor Swift's song with anti-Christian stuff that's going on. Texas is no longer the hotspot for illegal immigrant crossings. White House considers welcoming some Palestinians from war-torn Gaza as refugee. Again, they're trying to win Jews, and they're trying to win Palestinian, Gaza. They're trying to win everybody. And guess what happens when you try to chase two chickens? You don't catch either one of them because they're going to run off. You learned that in Rocky. You go after one of them, not two of them, right? They're not learning how to do this kind of stuff, and it's unfortunate.
Chickens getting faster.
Moment terrified kids at a park. They're just right there doing their things on school ground. A trans man starts chasing to take one of the kids. You got to see this video. And then trans athlete to compete in National Women's Water Polo Championship. This entire time, they're trying to rewrite Title IX. We'll get to that, and Tom's going to give you a breakdown on that. And then what else do I have here? Ryan Garcia. Did you guys see that story? Boxer Ryan Garcia tested positive for banned substance, and he claims it happened right after he met with Donald Trump. He's saying that's the reason.
Weird.
Kind of weird. And even Gervonta Davis defended him. But Devin Haney said some things about him that maybe will cover on what happened there. And then Fed Powell says looming U.S. election will not sway rate decisions. And we have to show the coins that Newsom got. It's just fantastic coins that he got. Respect for the kind of coins that he got. But anyways, before we get into the story, let me kind of share with you guys. You guys were asking for the shirts. It's officially here. The other day, I take Dylan to a practice I've never been to a facility I've never been to. And I'm walking in. 3 fathers are wearing the Valuetainment Future Looks Bright hat. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Hell yeah.
It was the sickest thing to, PBD Future Looks Bright. They had the hats on. We all took pictures. It was fantastic. We had great conversations. So the word, folks, to save you from getting in trouble is called allegedly. So now we have shirts for you to wear called allegedly. Rob, if you can show these pictures, and you can. We were going to announce this next week, but they're now here for you to order. Allegedly, you can buy it in black with white. And on the back of it, if you can show the back of the shirt, Rob, the back of the shirt, zoom in a little bit, says Future Looks Bright. So in the front, you can buy that with red. You can buy it in black. Go to the red one so they can see the difference. And you can also buy it in white with black.
I like it.
And listen, go to work, go to the gym, wear a shirt, allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. Allegedly. You can use the word allegedly on everything to protect yourself. It's the number one insurance word in communication today being used by everybody. So here's what we're doing today. For the allegedly shirts, for anybody that goes and orders, the first 100 that ordered the allegedly shirt with a Future Looks Bright hat will get a Future Looks Bright shirt and a Valuetainment pin sent over to you. So you order an allegedly shirt with a Future Looks Bright hat, you get a Future Looks Bright shirt and a Valuetainment pin being sent over your way. Go to vtmerch.com to place the order. Again, vtmerch.com to place the order. Is there a code for it, Rob, or no?
No, I just put the link in the chat to the allegedly shirt. Put everything in your cart, and then we'll take
So
care
if
of
people that are listening to this on Spotify or Apple, what do they do? How do they do it?
It'll be in the description for Spotify as well.
So you put it in the description,
iTunes.
Spotify as well.
Correct.
Fantastic. Okay. Go sport the gear, guys. We want 1 million people in America wearing Future Looks Bright gear, walking around telling everybody that the future looks bright because we believe it does. So having said that, currently the future doesn't look bright for Columbia University.
No, it does not.
And a lot of Ivy League schools and a lot of students that are protesting, and it's looking pretty nasty. And what's wild about it is, what is today's date?
Today's May 2nd. Mark.
When did 4 years ago in May, when did George Floyd event take place? May 26th of 2020.
So wait, you're saying 4 years ago in the same month during election year, something like this happened somewhere else?
Exactly. And the chaos at that time was the BLM protest.
Wow.
The chaos at this time is what? The pro-Palestine Israel protest. And all, by the way, then they pinned whites against blacks. Okay. Whites were the enemy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Today, they're pinning who? They're pinning pro-Palestine Muslims against Israel, Christians. They're pinning them against each other. Enemy, enemy, enemy. And something is about to happen the next few weeks. Now, Rob, if you got a couple of these clips ready, I'm going to read a couple of these. So first, Columbia University protester demands free food and water. We'll play that clip for you. Then you have to see what happens inside Columbia University's hall after protesters evicted. Then you have to hear what Eric Adams said, and then what happened in New York, NYPD. Rob, why don't we start off with the first girl who is there? You can tell she is smart.
And before you play, Pat, look at the guy in the back right. If that guy with that scarf and that halter top was in Gaza, he'd be dead from Gazans, FYI. But go ahead, Rob. He's sweet.
Why did you have to get everyone's attention to his belly button?
And he's got
Why are you doing
and he's
that?
got that midriff going there. Isn't that
He's like,
sexy?
listen, I'm going to leave today. I'm just going to look like a terrorist. I just want to look like a terrorist.
Go ahead, Rob.
I blush like
Why should the university be obligated to provide food to people who've taken over a building?
Well, first of all, we're saying that they're obligated to provide food to students who pay for a meal plan here.
But you mentioned that there was a request that food and water be brought in, unless I misunderstood.
To allow it to be brought in. I mean, well, I guess it's ultimately a question of what kind of community and obligation Columbia feels it has to its students. Do you want students to die of dehydration and starvation or get severely ill, even if they disagree with you? If the answer is no, then you should allow basic, I mean, it's crazy to say because we're on an Ivy League campus, but this is like basic humanitarian aid we're asking for. Like, could people please have a glass of water?
Watch this.
But they did put themselves in that very deliberately, in that situation and in that position. So it seems like you're sort of saying We want to be revolutionary.
Now she's trying to think about how to get the answer and spin it.
It's their college education at work.
Nobody's asking them to bring anything. We're asking them to not violently stop us from bringing in basic humanitarian
Not
aid.
violently stop us. Not violent.
Humanitarian aid as if she's
okay. Poor little baby. We want some water and food.
I don't know to what extent it has been attempted, but we're looking for a commitment.
And important. Please bring me some water and some food. It is unfair.
No, but you know what's bad?
Gosh, cry me a river.
And when you hear this humanitarian aid, you're not at war, you dumbass. Your dorm room, Sarah, is 30 feet away. Yeah. She's like, we need help. Like, chopper it in.
Tom.
Get the hell out.
Not all of those little bastards are students on a meal plan, by the way.
Yeah, you think?
Not all those protesters are students.
They're not bastards. Yeah. These guys have parents who are paying for it, Tom. Their parents are paying for this. So these are not people that are going here just because they're so smart and all this stuff. Yeah, probably they get good grades. They're good at, being led by teachers and professors in schools. Sure, I get that. But some of these guys have parents that are spending $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 to go to these schools.
I apologize for that. I shouldn't have called those entitled assholes bastards.
That's a fair transition. Better. Thank you, Tom, for being more appropriate with your categorical.
I'll be more careful.
What's happening? How did they let it get this bad this fast? And nobody's getting involved, right? Nobody's getting involved. Number one, number two. What?
Allegedly,
nobody.
Allegedly,
it's a word.
And by the way, you think this is going to stop? You think this is going to stop?
Well, let's go to the next one. Rob. Why don't you show the next one here, Rob?
This is not stop.
What I'm worried about is there's going to be a shortage of lesbian art history majors if they can't graduate this year.
Oh, no.
But by the way, I'm going to answer the question. I'm telling you guys, because all I've been curious about is who the hell is allowing this to happen? And number two, who are universities' number one customers? That's where we have to think about on why this is taking place. Rob, play the next clip. Go for it. Which one is this?
This is the protesters breaking into Hamilton Hall.
Let's see
at Columbia.
Wait, who are those cops or those are protesters?
Somebody's on the inside recording.
These are protesters.
Fast forward a little bit, Rob. Oh my! Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, this is exactly what happened on J6, by the way. Yeah. Of course, this is.
Yeah.
These are good people.
No, these are peaceful.
Yeah.
These are peaceful protesters.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly what happened on J6. Yeah.
Listen, where's the FBI? You think the FBI is here? Is the FBI going to start taking people's names that are dressed like?
All right, go to the next one. What it looks like afterwards. I think you have the clip of what happened to the hall right afterwards. Play this one. Watch this one here. Yep.
What nice, peaceful.
Yep. Peaceful protesting. Peaceful protesting.
Nice. Mostly peaceful.
Look, stuff was broken for no reason. They're trying to.
And by the way, at UCLA, do you have the clip of the flag where why don't you do the one where they're putting the Palestinian flag? I don't know if you have that one as well or not. If you do,
I have some comments.
So watch this one here.
And who is this? Oh, is that a cop?
They're taking down the Palestinian flag.
No, they took down originally
the
American flag.
Correct.
Then the police came in and replaced the Palestinian flag.
Who the hell put that up? Who put it up?
Do you know what this did to me yesterday when I saw it? I can't even explain it to you when I saw this, what it did to me.
You saw what Eric Adams had to say.
That's exactly what I'm going to get to next. So,
but look, by the way,
is there a clip about Eric Adams or no on what he said?
Hell yeah.
Why don't you play the Eric Adams clip?
By the way, the first guy in there, CUNY jacket. I think that's City University of New York. So that's like a security guy on campus trying to help too.
Good, I love that. Good for you. You're a hero. Play this clip.
Another significant part of the video was at the end. That's our flag, folks. Don't take over our buildings and put another flag up. That may be fine to other people, but it's not to me. My uncle died defending this country. And these men and women put their lives on the line. And it's despicable that schools will allow another country flag to fly in our country. So blame me for being proud to be an American. And I thank Commissioner Daughtry for putting that flag back up. We're not surrendering our way of life to anyone.
Good.
Right.
Yeah. I respect that, but that's still the same guy. Let's not forget. That's literally like, come on, illegals, everybody come in here. He loves the flag, but the same token, he's trying to destroy America by letting everybody and their mother come in here illegally and set up New York. New York is, by the way, hold on. New York is falling apart, has fallen apart because of that guy. And I respect the fact that he's loving the flag, but your actions are louder than your freaking words, period.
Hang on a second, Vinny. I think Eric Adams is open to a lot of criticism.
I just did it, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And there's a lot of video and there's a lot of sound bites, a lot of history that he has to own up for, and he deserves the criticism, exactly what you just said. But he is changing his tune. He was the one that said, hey, winter is coming. I can't handle all these people, and I don't want to close schools. I don't want to turn gymnasiums into an overnight sleeping shelter. I don't want to do that. And he did, but then on the other side, he was handing out EBT cards for nothing on taxpayers' dollars to homeless people. So he deserves the criticism. But he appears to be, this would be a great phrase here, he appears to be getting religion about this whole situation, about that this is an invasion, and he is in ground zero for it, and he's changing his tune, but he deserves the criticism.
Adam.
So let's be clear about one thing. These protesters hate America. So we talked about the horseshoe theory the other day about different ends of the spectrum and extremists. My enemy are extremists. Why is my enemy extremist? Talking about choose your enemies wisely, because there's no compromising with these people. Whether it's on the far right or the far left, we've known for years the dangers of the far right. Whether it's KKK or neo-Nazis or white nationalists, we know what they stand for. We frankly had no idea how radical the far left is in America. We've heard rumors, communism, we've seen this thing, socialism, but what has been introduced to American society in the last 20 years, this critical race theory, woke agenda, has become pervasive in the university specifically. First, it was 12 liberal professors for every one conservative professor. Now that's gone up to 13, 14, 15. Where does it end? So the difference between the far right and the far left, you could argue the following. The people on the far right, as disgusting as they are, the neo-Nazis, the KKK, the white nationalists, at the very least, they love America. Period. Now they want to keep America white and keep any non-white Anglos. They want to keep it white.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty disgusting, but at least they love America. The people on the left, they hate America. They have white guilt. They have white shame. They want to apologize for being white. Their decolonialization, their intersectionality, cross-sectioning with critical race theory. At the end of the day, if you just want to sum it all up, you hit the nail on the head, Vinny. The gay kid in the back with his belly ring showing, protesting for Palestine will be free. The gays for Gaza. The second he steps in Gaza and goes, hey, y'all, dead, beheaded.
No, he's done.
Have a nice day.
Done.
That's the difference.
So here's a question I want to ask. Let's actually think like critical thinkers, and let's start asking questions. So, number one, who is university's number one customer?
Meaning what? The students or the parents?
Yeah. So who is
whoever's paying the bill?
Whoever. If you're at a university, okay. And you're sitting there thinking about these universities, who would you say is your number one customer? Who should be every university's number one customer?
Well,
but think about it. Let me start off with a father that's actually sending his kids there.
Mm-hmm.
Who should be every university's number one customer?
It should be the student that's receiving the product.
Who's number two?
The parent that's paying for the product.
Okay, so number one should be the students that are paying for the product. Number two is the parents that are paying the product, the students that's attending.
I have a third one.
Go ahead.
The government via student loans that are backing all of this.
Okay.
Where you can't default on a loan.
Great angle. Yeah. Rob, can you pull up what I just sent you? I just airdropped you 3 different things. So before you show this, I don't want you to look at the screen. I just want you to ask this question of yourself. So what percentage of Harvard's money that came in 2023, okay? What percentage of Harvard's money that came in 2021, 2022, 2023, let's pick one of the years, 2021. What percentage of Harvard's money that came in 2021 you think came from actual student tuition?
I see where you're going with this.
Where do you think it came? What percentage?
It was mouse nuts.
Give me the number.
15%.
17%.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
And by the way,
see where you're going with
7% of it is not even the students. It's executive education and continuing education. 10% are the people that are actually trying to get a degree.
Okay.
Okay, stay with me here.
Yep.
Hang on, let me make the point,
Yep.
and then you can go to the other one, Rob. Not this one, go to that one. So watch it, not this one, the other one, next one. Yeah, okay, go to the first one. Watch this here, Tom.
Can I look?
Only 10% is from kids trying to get a degree. Students, out of all the money they're getting, it's only 10% from tuition.
Holy crap.
7% is from people like me. You go to OPM, Owner-President Management Program. We send Moral and the kids to some executive on how to be a better C-suite executives. We send Mario Teague, the guys, Leo to these. That's 7% continuing education, executive education. 39% is from endowments. And 10% is from gifts, which means half of their money is coming from philanthropy and charity. So, who is their number one customer? So let me give you a visual here. You ready? I'm going to give you a visual here. You are the president, the dean of Harvard.
Okay.
You're sitting there. Assistant Tom calls in. Hey, President Ellsworth, we have two people waiting for you on the line here. One, I have the number one student on campus, Larry Jackson. His father's on the line. Larry Jackson's father last year gave $500,000 to the university years. On line two, we have Jorge Soros on the line, who is with Open Society Foundation. Tell Mr. Jackson I'll call him back. Please put Mr. Jorge Soros through. Boom, call comes through. Hi, Mr. Soros. How are you? Hey, well, listen, this is what we need to do. You guys better not da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, we're going to do that for you, sir. And by the way,
Burn
we've
it
also
down.
got the table at the front of the banquet for all the donors next week. I'm taking care of it.
That's right.
We're going to personally give you on a tour, and you're going to love the new research that we've done on intersectionality.
So check this out. So if you are running a frickin' general contractor construction guy, okay? Tom has given you last year $50 million of business to build buildings. Adam's given you only $10 million.
I'm hooking
Who's
up
a
with
better customer for you?
Tom.
It's
100%.
not even close.
Yeah.
So guess what, folks? For people that are asking a question saying, why the hell they're allowed to do this? Because they don't have a choice.
Wow.
The people that are giving the endowments are sitting there saying, hey, listen, be quiet or else.
Yeah.
Okay, let me give you the second one here. How much you think China's given to U.S. universities the last 5 years? How much? So China in the last 5 years has given $400 million to universities, $390 million. Of the $390 million, how much of it do you think went to Harvard? 70 million. Wow. 70 million they give. Who is their number one customer? Understand this. So we are delusional here. And by the way, we have been taught our entire lives, you better respect your teacher. You better respect your this. You better respect your that. Fine. I was taught that my entire life. You better respect your professors. I have a hard time telling my kids right now to go respect a professor that's sitting there teaching all this bullshit, dividing America. I have a hard time. What are you supposed to do when the stuff like this is happening? So the average family is supposed to send their kids to school and say, respect your teacher, and your teacher's sitting there talking about how much this person hates America. You want me to say that? Yeah, you better listen to your teachers. Parents, you can no longer say you better listen to your teachers. You can say, hear them out, and see what they ask you to do matches the values and principles that we have as a family that we're raising. There is no more, because half the challenge is also how we as parents are empowering teachers and professors so much that we think anything they say is right, like they're walking on water. Hell to the no. No, that's not right. Because look what they're doing to America right now. Is this okay with you? I'm not okay with this. You know you're not okay with this. So imagine as a parent, you're sitting there conflicted saying, man, I love these teachers. These guys are amazing. In our school, whatever school, the teachers that always did good things, the parents would always come together and say, for this teacher, we're going to give this gift. For that teacher, we're going to give this gift. Awesome. Mm-hmm. Yes, for the teachers that go above and beyond. But some of these teachers right now got a lot of control. So for me, a few reminders. One, don't forget, it is May 2nd, 2024. The 4-year anniversary of George Floyd is coming up. May 26th of 2024. It is right before RNC. It is right before DNC. And it is exactly 5 months, give or take, 4.5 months away from the day you're going to vote. They want another George Floyd. They need another George Floyd. They need whites to go against blacks and blacks to hate America like whites the way they did in 2020. They need these Israel, Iran, Palestine, Christian, Jews. You're a Zionist. You're a Islamophobia. You're a this. They need this in America. And by the way, to all the other podcasters outside of America that are saying all this shit to increase the temperature in America, you don't love America. And I'm not surprised that you're saying what you're saying. Listen to the people that live in America that are raising their kids here. All the other people outside of America that are trashing America, I'm not surprised you don't like America. Your country should be number one to you. Wherever you raise your kids, that should be the number one country to you. We're living in America. I'm in America, folks. This podcast is heard by 180 plus countries. I live in America first. This is my number one priority as a country. It's that simple. If you live in Australia, I fully understand Bishop Marmari Emanuel the other day said, number one country to him is where? Australia, because he lives there. It should be. If you're in UK, you better take care of UK to be safe. If you live in Argentina, it better be Argentina. But those of you that are living in America and you're not defending America, you're delusional. Those of you that are protesting and trashing America, a one-way ticket. If I was a president, I would offer you a one-way ticket of $100,000 to give up your residency, give up your citizenship, give up your green card in America permanently. $100,000 cash given to you for the rest of your life. You can no longer come to America. Take it. Here's $100,000. Leave, never come back. Cash wired to you. If you come, you're going straight to jail. You can never come back here again. I dare you to take it. You won't take it. Because deep down inside, you know you're wrong yourself, and you know there's not a country like this. By the way, Eric Adams is a Republican or a Democrat?
Democrat.
Here's Eric Adams. Look what he says. Eric Adams, is this the one that he talks about agitators? Go ahead and play this. This is a Democrat saying this. God forbid if you say this as a Democrat. Eric Adams is sick of it because it's happening in his own city, and he's starting to realize, my own policies suck. My own sanctuary city policies suck.
Yep.
Giving $53 million credit card to these people suck. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe he's going through a transition like he went through. Maybe he's going through like a lot of people saying, what the F are we doing? Is this really the party I'm defending? Play this clip real quick.
Well, there were two operations tonight. One was with CUNY and one was with Columbia University. And once I became aware of the outside agitators who were part of this operation, as Columbia mentioned in their letter and their request with the New York City Police Department, it was clear we had to take appropriate actions. When our intelligence division identified those who were professionals, well-trained, one of them was married to someone that was arrested for terrorism. We knew these children were being exploited and they were in danger, and would have been irresponsible not to reply to requests from Columbia University.
Mr. Mayor, when you say that the protests have been co-opted by professional outside agitators, how do you distinguish between those outside agitators and students who are just protesting peacefully? And who is this individual who is connected to a terrorist?
Tell us.
Well, and it's not singular. It's plural. Several organizations and groups. I want to be clear on that. We did not take this action lightly. And once the Columbia University team and leadership, in their letter acknowledging that outside agitators were on their campus grounds, we looked at our intel and information. I was briefed by the intelligence division, and they were able to identify organizations and individuals who were not students, but were professional agitators. And we realized after the breaking into Hamilton Hall, some of the tactics, some of the methods, these are clearly being used across the globe, and we understood that how really dangerous this situation had become.
Okay, but Mr. Mayor,
motive, you can pause it right there at this point.
Weird, isn't that weird?
And he's saying it. By the way, Has he been hanging around an Alex Jones? This guy sounds like a conspiracy theorist.
He sounds like
Mayor Adams, you better not say stuff like that because you know there's a guy named Jorge that may call you.
Yep.
And this Jorge man is very powerful. Open Society Foundation. He's given a lot of money to a lot of people to do all these, agitators coming out and doing this. So you guys are able to divide America because May 26th is around the corner. Go ahead, Tom.
This is an epiphany. Eric Adams has had an epiphany. Intelligence. Look, you're talking about the New York Police Department. The New York Police Department has its own intelligence division that dates back to 9/11. And it works with the Port Authority. It works with Kennedy. It works with LaGuardia. It works with all the ports of all the opportunities for bad crap to come into New York. So they know they had to harden their city for perimeter and for security. And they have intelligence organizations. Do you hear what he said? These were the methods that are used around the globe to agitate, to create riots, to create, discord. He knew it. And the intelligence agencies in New York knew it. And so they added this up and they went in there and they found a couple of the people and they go, wait a minute, these aren't students. These are guys from outside here. This is professional. This is a professional job. This is what Eric Adams is saying. He is having an epiphany and he is speaking as the leader that he needed to be all along. I'm proud to hear what he's spoken for. He has to answer for his past, of course, but I'm happy to hear it. I'm happy to see it. And I hope, America, you're listening. This isn't just New York. All those immigrants that came in or end up on planes in this city, this city, this city, this city, there are bad people in the crowds. And these bad people are showing up here in New York. Some of these agitators are traced back to border entries. Wake up.
Oh, by the way, do you have the border entry agitators? Do you have the link back? Rob, do you have that link there?
Which one's the agitators?
The one that shows, that one right there, Rob. Check this.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vinny.
So this is... this is actually a really, really funny one right here. So, Rob, this is all those criminal illegal invaders because we were tracking them from the caravans that were coming in to the United States to our border. And in the interior of the U.S. Today, over 1,000 of the same devices are present that we've been tracking these people at over 21 protests and growing across America. Isn't that... Wait.
Vinny, rewind and paint it. Where did they get the device and what device is being tracked?
So this is Homeland Security gives them at the border a device, a cell phone or something. So
the free phone. Welcome to America.
Yeah, remember the free phone? And then, by the way, to let them know, and remember we said this on this podcast, they're in here, they're waiting around on street corners. Some guy in New York made a video where this black dude walks into the corner and he goes, look at all these people. There's like 10 of them there, 10 of them there, as if they're waiting for the call. The call just was made. This is the first call. And the call is go to this university, go to this university, go there, agitate, and because guess what? We let you into the country.
So the free phones are now in these universities.
The free phones are in the university. Yeah, by the way. And now these people are going to be able to vote as well. And then what if they want them to do something else? What if one of those guys, Tom, I'm going to go on the limb, he gets a phone call and it's like, hey, listen, you have to go do that terrorist thing that we wanted you to do. Go to this school, go to this place. And,
allegedly, that is possible.
Of course it is.
By the way, check this out. Check this out. While this is going on, I'm going to read this, and then Adam, I'm going to come to you. So AOC slams Eric Adams. Okay?
Of course she does.
Columbia University for NYPD raid of campus. For NYPD raid of campus. So she goes on Twitter, Rob, if you can pull this up. I don't know if you have it or not. Watch what she says. If any kid is hurt tonight, that's exactly what you need. You need your George Floyd, May 26th. It's coming up. If any kid is hurt tonight, responsibility will fall on the mayor and the university president. Other leaders and schools have found a safe, de-escalatory path. This is the opposite of leadership and endangers public safety, a nightmare in the making. I urge the mayor to reverse course.
A nightmare in the making. What does she mean?
Yeah.
She wants that nightmare. They want blood. They want a dead student. They want someone that goes on the new flag and is their George Floyd.
It's sure showing signs that, guys, I'm interested in patterns. As a business owner.
She's a Marxist. Let's make it clear. AOC is a Marxist. Her fundamental belief structure and what she's talking about is Marxism.
Yeah.
All the programs and comments and comes out of her core belief in Marxism. Her and her little sisterhood of the squad. This is what it's all about, America. And some of you voted for it, but all of you can vote against it and move them out of office.
But guess what? I don't think it'll happen. Oh, by the way, that right there, you're looking at what would you call her? A Marxist? She's a future president, Tom. These people will vote for this bartender. this bartender and that whole squad hates America, from Ilhan Omar to what's the Talib, Adam?
Rashida Tlaib.
They freaking hate this country, bro.
Adam.
They hate it.
Right. Well, I think what you're basically alluding to is these protests are not organic. They are organized by, a lot of times, left-wing dark money, i.e. Jorge Soros.
One of them.
Who hates America, who hates any sort of nationalistic pride. He's a globalist. And this is the disgustingness of what happens when you can't basically embrace having pride in your country. Someone like Soros and the money that he's been raising, he has no loyalty to any country. He has no loyalty to anything but his ideology. He has no loyalty to America, no loyalty to London, the Bank of London that he brought down. He has no loyalty to Hungary, can't even go back to Hungary. So a lot of this is traced back to Soros and the Open Society. And his son, Alex Soros, who's Alex Soros dating, by the way? Huma Abedin, Anthony Weiner's ex-wife. So we're going on with that. And we know what's going on in Gaza with a lot of these people. There's a pay for slay policy. What we're seeing in America is now a pay for protest policy. Whether these students actually are actual students or just paid agitators remains to be seen. But Pat, you crushed it. We thought it's the teachers. We thought that it was the parents. We thought that it was potentially the government that's bailing people out. At the end of the day, what you're talking about are the mega donors. And we've seen what's happened with specific examples of these mega donors. Example, Ken Griffin, Citadel Capital. Bill Ackman, right? Major hedge fund guy. Harvard guys.
Changed over. Bill Ackman, when you say that name, remember, he flipped last year in a big way.
Major flip.
Yeah.
Ken Blatnick. He also is a guy that basically went to Harvard. Leon Cooperman, who we spoke about on this podcast, Columbia University, Mark Rowan, Penn. These guys are billionaires who donate tens of millions of dollars to their alumni. Specifically, Ken Griffin. In the last 10 years, you know how much money this guy has given to Harvard? Ready for it? In 2014, he gave $150 million.
Damn.
I sent you something on this, Rob. Last year, talk about inflation.
Yeah.
Thanks, Biden. $300 million to Harvard. Why? Because they named the Kenneth Griffin Graduate School of Arts and Sciences in Harvard.
Nice. He has a building.
So at the end of the day, what we're talking about, these whiny snowflakes, this intersectional oppressee attitude, critical race theory. There it is, whiny snowflakes. The latest to stop donations to Harvard. Here's the solution. You ready for it? We've seen university presidents be fired. Claudine Gay, the woman from Penn that was fired. Fire the professors. Fire the bureaucrats. Fire the DEI bullshit. You don't need them, because if you're losing hundreds of millions of dollars from alumni, who gives a shit about what the progressive leftist professor has to say? By the way, last point here. The anti-war protests. The anti-war protests. Do you know how many wars are going on in the world today? Let me just name a few. Russia, Ukraine, Yemen, Syria, Boko Haram, South Sudan, Afghanistan, Haiti. You see what's going on in Haiti? Yeah, we don't know what's going on in Iraq.
Barbecue.
Central African Republic. The list goes on and on and on. Why specifically this issue? I've seen someone do some interviews. You're anti-war. They go up to, okay, what other war protests have you been a part of? These agitators. Go ahead, tell me. This is my first one. What other war protests have you been a part of? This is it. There are no other war protests. This is it. So don't tell me you're anti-war if you protested zero other wars. You're clearly anti-America. You're clearly anti-Israel. You're clearly anti-Jewish. It is what it is. If you told me in 2023, prior to October 7th, Adam, as a Jew, what anti-Semitic Jewish hate have you experienced? Very minimal. Yeah. But what we've realized is this is seeping underground all over the world.
It's very easy. I mean, this is to manipulate this. It's very easy. Who is what community is easiest one to turn against Jews? What community is easiest one to turn against Jews?
The hardcore Muslim extremists.
Okay, great. What community is the easiest to turn against Muslims?
The Judeo-Christian Jewish rest of the world.
What community is the easiest to turn against whites?
Blacks.
What easiest community is to turn against blacks?
Whites.
The point is, So there's a part like here's where I'm at. When you run a insurance company and you recruit from all over the place, we're in Michigan, we're in New York, we're in Chicago, one of our biggest offices in Chicago, and I'm talking like Chicago. We're in Texas, we're in LA, we're in San Diego, we're all over the place. You're going to get people we're in DC, DMV, we're in Calverton, there's so many different places, Arizona. I've been to so many places. I lived in an RV from LA. For 30 days, I lived in an RV. Went from LA to Miami to Toronto to San Francisco, back to LA. Spoke to thousands of people living in this RV. We have agents from all walks of life. Guess what I'm all about? You can be Muslim, you can be Christian, you can be an atheist, whatever you can be. Do you love America? I do. We're good doing business. When you do that, don't do it in front of the mic. I don't know why you do that every time.
About that. Hurts my
Is that intentional?
No.
Have you noticed that every time he does it, he does it in front of the mic?
I thought he was
Continue, sir.
No, I'm being serious with you. Why do you do it in front of the mic?
I didn't think about it. Sorry.
Okay. So when you think about people you're working with, like you're in business with, there are people from all walks of life that we have, okay, that we'll do business with. Priority to me is, do you love America? I do. Let's be in business together. Mm-hmm. You hate America? I'm sorry, I'm Team America. I don't care what you are. You can be a Christian. You can be a Jew. If you're a Jew, you hate America. By the way, if you're a Jew, you're Israel first before America. I'm America. Mm-hmm. I'm not with you. If you're a Muslim, you're Hamas or Palestine or Iran or anything first before America. We're not on the same page.
Nope.
You can be a Muslim. You're America first, but you're proud to be from Iraq. You're proud to be from Iran. You're proud to be from anywhere. I have no problem with you, but we have chosen to live here. Let's protect what we have here. Let's protect our communities. Let's protect that. If you're doing that, there was a video you showed me about in UCLA. What were they doing in UCLA?
Did you see, there was a bunch of protesters that were hundreds of students converting to Islam and participating in an Islamic call to prayer at UCLA on the lawn. I sent it to Rob. Oil London posted this.
This is what? This is now.
This is yesterday.
London?
This is yesterday.
London.
Yeah.
Oil London's a big oil guy.
He loves oils.
Is that like?
Oh, there's white people in there. There's people that, by the way, don't even know how to wear the freaking hijab. Don't.
You guys not sorry.
Look, they're telling them not to record.
Now what?
Look, the white people just sitting there. They have no idea what's going on.
But what is this? Like they're praying?
They're praying.
I don't have a problem with that.
No, but some people. There's some people, the white people that are just there.
By the way, you know what I would say? You know what I would say? Here's what I would say. Christians, why don't you go pray as well?
Oh yeah, you'll never see them.
Christian, why don't you go do it?
No.
Why don't you go on campus and pray? So what? This to me is an element of competition. They're simply out praying you 5 times to 1. They're out praying you like you wouldn't believe. I don't have a problem with this.
Yeah,
everything that ever becomes big, that does well, they are better at rituals. They're better at traditions. They're better at those things, whether it's last names, companies, religions, cultures, all of that. When I see something like this and I say, okay, guess what? Didn't Greg Laurie build one of the greatest movements? What was that? The hippie movement of the 70s, the movie that came out, the Jesus Revolution?
The Harvest Festival?
Have you seen the Jesus Revolution movie?
Yep.
Have you watched it? It's an unbelievable movie. Guess what? Great. Didn't C.S. Lewis with his book Mere Christianity get a bunch of people to convert? Didn't Billy Graham in 1959 when he went to that lady and they went to the forest, you know which one I'm talking about?
Yep.
That one lady that would always, when you're about to break, what did Billy Graham do? Went and baptized 210 million people. Billy Graham went to Korea and spoke in a country that didn't speak his language. Do you know how many people came to listen to Billy Graham speak? Show this to me. Billy Graham, okay? To go to Billy Graham, Korea, go to images, Rob, if you can. Just go to images. This is how many people showed up.
What?
Show the second picture. Show the picture to the right there. Watch that. These people don't speak English. They showed up for Billy Graham. So guess what? Who is the modern day Billy Graham? Who is the modern day Billy Graham that's going around? Not from the pulpit at a basketball center arena that, I'm talking about who's going out there, right? Who's going out? I don't have any problem with them doing this. It's called competition.
I know, but what I'm saying, and I'm not saying like that, by the way, what my point was, those aren't just all Muslims praying and calling to God. That's white people that have no idea what they're doing, but they're acting like they're praying and they're freaking converting people.
Yeah, and to
that's
me,
what I'm saying.
Every time I talk to Christian pastors that complain and say, well, look what Muslims are doing. They're going on our campuses. They're getting involved in our politics. They're getting involved in, they're having all these kids. I'm like, okay, so first of all, everything you said, you can compete with.
Yes.
You can't go on campuses. You can't go and get involved in politics. You can't go and have more kids, but you can't sit around and complain about it. They're beating you. It's that simple. Now, the part that disturbs me, that I'm not comfortable with, is whether you're a Christian, Muslim, Jew, anything, living in America, trashing America, I have zero tolerance. Zero tolerance. Zero. I don't care what you are. I don't care if you're Armenian or Syrian. I don't care if you're Persian. I don't care if it's anybody. If you're here, you best love America and what it stands for. You don't go to another country. It's that simple. Let me simplify it for you. I'm an immigrant. We were dying, literally dying to come to America. The day we landed in America, we were the happiest people alive to be in America. Any religion, I couldn't do that in Iran. Christians, no problem. My mom and dad go to church. We don't have to do anything with that, even though I was an atheist. We could go out there and, do assembly. We can do anything we want in America. We're free. Okay, your family came here as well from another country.
Same thing.
Okay. Happiest day, man, when I became a citizen, and I'm going like this. I got out of the Army a month early just to come and become a U.S. citizen with 7,000 other people. And I'm going like this with the flag. And I have it till today. You know what that day was? That's like the greatest gift. I am an American. The American flag is one of the most special flags when you look at it.
Oh, it's the best flag.
It's unbelievable. Yet, at the same time, you have to also understand there's nothing wrong with somebody. You know how people have what do you call it?
The evil, the yin and yang.
Yin, what is it? What do they call
it? They say
angel and the devil.
Angel and the devil.
Okay, let me tell you who I have. We almost should do a visual with this, Rob, and if Sam and Deli and the guys are watching, we should do like a fun skit with this. I have one guy on this side, and I have one guy on this guy. Let me show you what's on this side. This guy's like, dude, future frickin' looks amazing.
Yeah.
We're going to take over the world. Things are going to be awesome. Everything is great. Da-da-da-da-da. And then this other guy's the guy that says, but got to stay paranoid. Don't forget what they did with 9/11. Don't forget what happened in, Germany. Don't forget what happened with Shah and Khomeini. I have these two guys in my ear, okay? It's the paranoid PBD. It's the freaking optimistic PBD. That's the paranoid PBD is what makes me ask questions.
Good.
Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And by the way, if you're watching this, if you watch this podcast, whether you're one of the haters that watches it or you love it or you just kind of like being introduced to it, I don't care. If you stay with us, you probably have a little bit of this as well. You have a little bit of that.
Big time.
Tom has a little bit of that. He has a little bit of that. Rob has a little bit of that. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's just you're an independent thinker. You can think for yourself a little bit and still have some set of values and principles that you're fighting for. Anyways, let's go to the next story here. Next story I want to get to is the Speaker Johnson story because it kind of goes with this. So House passes anti-Semitism bill as Johnson highlights campus protests. So let's see, where are we at here? Okay. The House passed the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act amidst concerns over anti-Semitism, particularly as pro-Palestinian protests erupted as college campuses nationwide. The bill aims to combat anti-Semitism by mandating the use of definition put forward by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, drawing criticism of its potential impact on free speech. The bipartisan vote, 320 to 91, with 70 Democrats and 21 Republicans vote against the bill, reflects a divisive stance on legislation. Representative Mike Lawler, the bill introducer, emphasized the bipartisan support, stating it's critical that we crack down on anti-Semitic hate within our country. Meanwhile, House Speaker Johnson has intensified efforts to address anti-Semitism on college campuses, announcing a House-wide effort and increased oversight of universities. Adam.
Yeah. I don't like this. And you're like, what? You're Jewish. Wouldn't you appreciate something like this? It's so weird to me that in 2024, we have to take a stance that's saying any sort of hate, we should probably eliminate that. We saw what happened when the university presidents couldn't man up or woman up and denounce genocide for anybody. Jews, unfortunately, are the one group that still you could hate on, no problem. And you're going to say, what do you mean by that? Go ahead and do these protests about fill in the blank type of culture. Go fill in the blank. Any type of segment of society. Black, Asian, Mexican, gay, trans, fat. Go try hating on those people. Go be anti-trans and publicly do it. Shut down. Go be anti-gay. Shut down. Go be anti-black. Good luck out there. You could still be anti-Jewish, and that's basically what this is, and it's perfectly acceptable, and the crowd will come in and start marching. Do I want to see anti-Semitism laws and bills passed these days? Not really. In fucking America in 2024, that's what we're dealing with. But unfortunately, here we are today. And why does this matter? Because we love America and we love values, Judeo-Christian values. You saw what Charlie Kirk had to say in that one video about why Israel is so important. Did you see that video? I don't know if you have that. He said, the college kid said, why should we care about Israel? Well, if you're a Christian...
Actually, play the clip.
Yeah, go ahead, watch this.
Rob, if you have it was sent in a group text last night. You just have to go to the group text that was last night and you'll find it. It's actually a very good clip where he breaks it down in his own way.
Yeah, but, here's the reality. We talked about the kids praying in the last segment. Here's the reality, guys. Ready for it? Islam has taken over the world. They've already taken over the Middle East. We've seen that. They've taken over Europe. Do you see what's going on in France, in London, in UK, in Germany, in the Netherlands, all over Sweden, all over Europe? They're taking over the caliphate. These are extremists. People I'm talking about. I have much love to the moderates, much love to the people that try to unify, much love to the moderate Muslims out there. Respect to you. But where are they?
But
speak up.
Can I ask you a question, Adam? Because when you say you could talk about be anti-Semitic and anti-Jewish and nothing happens and it's totally cool, I think in this sense, because it's Israel, from what I'm seeing from the setup from China and Soros, but I mean, if Kanye or anybody else, all these people mention anything about, Jews run the world, they get canceled. So you can't say that it's not right.
No, they don't get canceled.
No, what do you mean? Kanye?
They're corporations that chose to do business with them.
Yeah, they get canceled.
Cancel them.
Yeah,
because FTM, bro, follow the money.
Of course.
If you're Adidas.
Yeah.
And you're out there. Who developed Adidas, by the way? I think it was a freaking Nazi. I don't know. But
like Hugo
if
Boss.
You're saying, hey, you're a representation of our brand.
The guy's name was Adi.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Hugo Boss, too, was the outfit they tailored.
So if you're representing our brand and you say some wild-ass shit, whatever it is, and you damage the brand and the stock price goes down and people stop buying the product, you should be fired. But at the same time, if you want to listen to his music's not taken down from Spotify. It's still on Apple Music. Yeah, I don't think he should be canceled.
I think to say you can say anything you want about Jews, I don't think I agree. And again, we can banter, and I have no problem with that. I don't think you can say that because they in a way, Hollywood, music. Are you kidding me? Like the other day, Dame Dash, Suge Knight. Music is owned and ran by them, okay? Again, good for them for moving up. I'm just saying it's owned by them. Hollywood. How many of these last names? You want to go through a list of last names in Hollywood?
Yeah, because they started Hollywood.
Yeah, but
by the way, I understand that. I mean, but still.
We saw what happened with Thomas Edison and the monopoly that he had in New Jersey.
He did, and they left him. They left New Jersey and they went to Hollywood. Yes, he had a monopoly.
It's called a business person.
Yeah.
No, I get that. But what I'm saying
and why do Jews run banks? Because Christians basically were not allowed to do usury, charge interest. Our entire financial foundation of every corporation in the world, every bank, is based on charging interest.
Sincerely to you, what is the most tolerant religion in the world?
The most tolerant religion?
Hate to say it to you.
Christianity.
It's not even close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is not even close. There is not a religion more tolerant than Christianity. None.
Turn their cheek.
There is no religion more tolerant than Christianity. There's only, believe it or not, one religion that you can trash as much as you want and get away with it.
Christian.
And it's Christians.
Yep.
Jews are not in that community. I don't think they're in that community. Now, if you have Charlie Kirk's video, Rob, if you want to play it, I like the way he makes this argument. It's actually a very interesting argument he makes. If you're able to listen to this and able to reason, I actually want to get your thoughts on this for anybody that's watching this. Folks, if you're watching this on Spotify and Apple, I mean, you'll hear what he has to say. Go ahead and play this, Rob. He's at a campus while he's doing this. A kid is asking him a question. Go ahead.
Is Israel so important to America?
What evidence do you have that the Bible is true?
Well, we have archaeological.
Right. Where is that archaeological evidence found?
In Israel.
Right. Thank you. So in the places controlled by Muslims, are we able to access that archaeological evidence?
No.
No. So therefore, as it's controlled by Jews, we Christians have actually gotten the better end of the deal. So you're asking the question, why should we support Israel? We want the Bible to be proven true. The archaeological evidence is found in Israel. The places where the Muslims can control it completely, like Bethlehem, we are not able to visit those holy sites. I have a theological belief, but I also have a belief that protecting the historical integrity of the Bible is good for all of humanity. And under its current government, we're allowed to access those holy sites. I'm able to go to see where Jesus walked on the water. I'm able to go and see where Jesus rose from the dead. I'm able to see where Jesus was betrayed by Judas Iscariot. I'm able to see where Jesus preached the Mount of the Beatitudes. And I think that's worth defending. And I'm afraid that if it was under Muslim control, there is no such guarantees always that Western Christians are gained access to those holy sites.
Why is Israel so important?
It's such an amazing point, because as someone that has been to Israel multiple times, I got you a gift from the Armenian Quarter.
Yep.
Right? There's if you go to Israel, by the way, there's something called the Kotel, the Four Quarters. There's an Armenian quarter, there's a Christian quarter, there's a Muslim quarter, and there's a Jewish quarter.
Yeah.
All religions are accepted in Israel. Okay, I'm America first. I'm 43 years old. I've spent 42.999% of my life in America. I've spent collectively 2 months of my life in Israel. I'm not Israeli. I'm Jewish. I'm fucking American. But any religion is allowed in Israel. Okay, whether you're Christian, whether you're Assyrian, Armenian, whether you're Druze. But here's the most important thing. There's 2 million Muslim Arabs in Israel. How many Jews are in Gaza? 0. How many Jews are in Syria? 0. How many Jews are in Lebanon? 0. Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq. You cannot be Judeo-Christian in a Muslim country, but you can totally be Muslim in a Christian country. The double standard is palpable. That's what's going on.
Tom, what would you say about that?
I agree with that, and I was going to rewind just a second to the original question you asked is, what do you think about the House bill? And I think here in the United States, the price of free speech is free speech.
Yeah.
That's the price of free speech. Now, inciting riots is illegal. Discord and causing a ruckus is illegal. But the price of free speech is free speech. Mm-hmm. And the tenets of the United States were Judeo-Christian tenets, and they feared the kings and queens and monarchs that would restrict. And when you start saying, I'm going to restrict anti-Semitism, then I'm going to restrict this, I'm going to restrict that, before you know it, you don't have free speech. Yep. And you have the government picking and choosing at all these things. And that can't happen. And so going back to the original story, that can't happen. And I agree with Charlie Kirk. It is more than worth defending the holy sites so you can continue the archaeology, because we have a faith in Christ, but we have also archaeology that keeps digging up stuff that people go, what is this thing? And guess what? The scriptures that have been sitting there for thousands of years, they say, hey, the scripture here talked about it. So nothing was invented. It's just amazing.
Yeah. So I want to go to a couple other stories with this. Tom, Musk, not with this, but a different story. Musk undercuts Tesla's chargers. Biden laughed as a big deal, lauded as a big deal, meaning celebrated as a big deal. And all of a sudden, Musk wants to change it. It's actually a big story, guys. So Elon Musk, this is the Bloomberg story. Elon Musk's recent decision to eliminate almost the entire supercharger team at Tesla, including senior executive like Rebecca Tinucci, throws into question the future of Tesla's cooperation in opening its chargers to other automakers. In building our EV charging network, we have to ensure that as many chargers work for as many drivers as possible. That's a big deal, and it'll make a big difference, Biden stated previously. The layoffs at Tesla have left automakers like GM, Ford Motor Company, Rivian Automotive in a precarious position as their customers were just beginning to gain wider access to Tesla's charging infrastructure. We strongly believe in helping other car companies to accelerate the EV revolution and just trying to do the right thing in general. Musk emphasized during an earnings call in July of last year. Tom, thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, what's happening here is that it's easy to be green, and it's easy to say, Gavin Newsom, 30% of cars sold in California have to be EVs by this date. By 2030, all the trucks, new trucks, can't be diesel. They have to be, electric. You can say all that and run your little Green New Deal and speak, but guess what? You got to plug them in gun somewhere. And Gavin Newsom's, by the way, there's a related story on this, Pat. In California, Gavin Newsom has said, yeah, we need about $20 billion. His word, not mine, $20 billion just to do the upgrades to charge the vehicles by 2035. By the way, that's 9 years away. Yeah, 11 years away. $20 billion is needed for that. And Musk was the guy that was building all the infrastructure, building for Tesla, and they came to Elon Musk on bended knee. And who did all the rest of the automakers come to him? This is what they said. They said, hey, the government's forcing us to do 1% of our cars being EVs. We don't own the gas stations. Where are the gas stations? Well, you can put that little charger in at the mall. No. That only gives you about, 2 hours of running time for 4 hours of charging time on a little standard plug. We need the superchargers, the big ones. Oh, you mean the one that Tesla thought ahead and built its own nation of service stations? Yeah, that one. And so Musk said, hey, you can go ahead and use my chargers. You can use my chargers. You can use my chargers. And they made deals with all the automakers. Now, California doesn't even have enough power. And state of California is about to tax its citizens or put bonds in for $20 billion, Gavin Newsom, to put the charging in place. And Elon Musk is saying, hey, you know what? I got to make money too. And guess what? Now some things have happened in the EV market. You know what? I'm not going to build as many supercharger stations, but you Tesla owners, you can keep using them because you have a contract with me when you buy a Tesla car.
There's a part of this, Tom, that I wonder. First of all, it's a power play. It's like Rockefeller and Flagler's when they owned the railroad. Like, oh, you don't want to do that with us? Okay. Oh, yeah. No problem.
Maybe I won't build the railroad to Cleveland.
That's right. No problem. You're okay. Don't worry about it. Don't do business with me. So he is doing what Rockefeller did back in the days. Now, he can get away with it for temporarily and have a separation from because these other car companies are getting destroyed with their EVs. When the numbers are coming back, it's not looking good for these other car companies, and they know they need them. But you know what Biden administration has to do now? They just have to go do some begging, and guess what? It's too late. Mm-hmm. It's too late. So now what's wild is all of these other automakers have to be pro-Elon Musk and pro-X.
Oh, weird.
Mm-hmm. Hello. Hey, Ford, I heard you stopped advertising on X.
Yeah.
Hey, GM, you guys still want to advertise on X? Hey, do you understand? Like, these are the kind of things that is kind of going on right now. I got a product you need.
Of course.
But guess what? You don't want to advertise. No problem. I won't give you access to these chargers. What makes you think you give me the middle finger that you don't want to advertise on X, and you want me to just sit there and say, I'm so sorry. I will change for you. Don't worry about it. Don't add. I'm not going to give you the chargers. Go do it yourself.
Yep.
You know how long it's been taking Tesla to put all these chargers all over the place? Do you remember back in the days when Teslas used to run out in the middle of the road and somebody has to come and tell them because there wasn't enough chargers?
No charge.
How long do you think it's taking them to build this up? A long time. Everybody else is starting to realize they need this guy.
And there's one more thing. Mr. President, Joe Biden. Yeah. Hey, a week ago, did you sign the TikTok ban bill that included language that you could use against X? Yeah. That's really annoying. Pat, there's part of that's in there too. That new TikTok ban bill can be used against X. And the same federal government that passed that bill needs Elon Musk to build service stations for their green mandate.
Well, hopefully that'll give them some leverage then, huh? Because that's the main goal of the whole TikTok
thing. He's got so much leverage.
I love it, though. Thank God, Elon. I love you.
As important as Elon is, there's a very good chance he's about to get dropped from the Magnificent Seven. It used to be FANG stocks, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. Now it's the Magnificent Seven. Tom, what are the Magnificent Seven? Microsoft, Google, Meta, Alphabet. NVIDIA, correct, the Magnificent Seven, and Tesla. So, no, you're looking at the movie, Rob. But they're about to get dropped. Now, I think 70% of Elon's wealth is actually tied to Tesla stock, right? Hundreds of thousands of millions of shares of what he has there. But here, he basically said, look, every 5 years, I fire 10% of my workforce, because the story started off with basically he fired 10% of the workforce. I did a whole episode on this on the Saucecast like 2 weeks ago. He said every 5 years we need to reorganize and streamline the company for the next phase of growth. 2 years ago, March of 2022, Tesla stock was at $360, all-time high. Today, Tesla stock There it is, the quote right there. Every 5 years ago, we're region organized. Yes. Today, Tesla stock, Rob, you could pull it up. I think it's at 180, I want to say. So they've been cut in half. There it is, bingo, in the last 2 years. So not exactly.
Go to 5 year.
Yeah, 5 year. They're doing great. Where were they? So this is
from 400 to 180. So it's less, a drop of 50% or more.
Correct.
Yeah.
So over the last 5 years, obviously they have massive growth. But if you look at the last year or so, Tesla, it might get dropped from the Magnificent Seven. I think the stats are they dropped 29% first quarter. They had the worst first quarter in the last 4 years. Obviously, they shot up during COVID. It's the biggest decline they've had in the last handful of years, and the third steepest decline, quarterly plunge, since the company's IPO in 2010. So would I still bet on Elon? You betcha. Would I still bet on Tesla? You betcha. As of right now, they're about to get dropped.
And I hope it happens. I hope it happens. Because that's another thing where he is going to leverage and use the hell out of it, because he has built something that others need. He's built something that his competitors need. And I'm not even talking about the cars. I'm talking about the batteries that he's built.
Battery Aziz.
Yeah, and all these other guys may be selling EVs, but they're not geniuses that knows what's going on. So, you're going to eventually need to go back to this guy, and there's going to be a lot of begging going on.
Don't forget what's going on in China with these... with the Silk Road Initiative, with the lithium and the cobalt and the debt that they're going to take on to these African countries right now.
And by the way, you know what's about to happen? He said, I don't have a person to say who I'm going to be voting for. I just know I'm not voting for Biden. So when this guy announces who he's voting for in the next 3 months, do you know what's going to happen? It will be bonkers in the next 3 months. And he knows, because Trump is going to work with him when it comes onto Tesla and all this other stuff. And,
what a freaking idiot Biden is. He had an EV conference at the White House. Who was suspiciously left out? The #1 EV company in the world, Tesla.
Yeah, because he gave us free speech.
Stupidity because he bought at the highest level.
Yep. Well, they want to destroy him. As soon as he gave us free speech, that's bye-bye.
That was prior to Twitter, though.
What's this?
Prior.
This is what?
Well, they had the meeting at the White House with all the EV people.
This was years ago.
Yeah, got it. Okay, let's talk about a couple other things here. So let's go to... Tom, what else do we have with rates? Let's go to this, because something just happened with Powell. Powell came out yesterday saying looming U.S. election will not sway rate decision, okay? This is a Reuters story. So the looming U.S. presidential election will not influence Federal Reserve interest rate decisions. Federal Chair Powell said on Wednesday, adding that policymakers were at peace with keeping political conversations out of the decision-making process. Powell said Fed policy decisions will be guided by what we think the right thing for the economy is, repeating a long-held stance of ignoring politics in the central bank's economic analysis. If you go down the road, where do you stop? And we're not on that road. We're on the road where we're serving all the American people and making our decisions based on the data and how those data affect the outlook and the balance of risks when it comes to the election. We're at peace over it. We know that we'll do what we think is the right thing to do when we think it's the right thing. So that's Powell. Tom, thoughts on this?
Well, very interesting. So what Powell's talking about is that, hey, I'm not going to be lowering the interest rates because inflation looks like it's heating up. Inflation 3.7, but there are people out there that are saying it's as high as 4% right now when you include energy and the response that oil has had to the wars around the world. And what's very, very interesting, check this out. Since Q4 of 2021, remember inflation went crazy in 22. Since Q4 of 2021, what is the consensus total inflation impact on the basket of goods and groceries?
What is it?
21.2%.
Wow.
Since Q4 of 21. So inflation is down. Yeah, maybe down, but the cumulative effect is, it's like saying that your brother is now 350 pounds and he's no longer gaining weight. He's still 350 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't go on.
How's your brother doing, though? I mean, is that a personal thing? Or?
No. My brother is fine. But if you had a family member that, so he's not gaining weight anymore, everybody would say, great.
Don't say stuff like that. Like if your brother's dealing with weight issues, why would you announce that?
That's not
seriously,
cool, dude.
My brother's doing great. He rebuilt his house recently. It's really looking good.
Thomas,
I'm sorry about that, bro.
No. But anyway, the whole point is right now, I mean, if you had let's just say you had a friend that had gained weight and they stopped gaining weight, but they're still huge, you're going to have a heart attack, you're going to die. But what Powell is saying is, I can't.
Tom, according to Adam, you can say stuff about Jews.
But don't talk about your brother.
You cannot say stuff about fat
brothers.
People.
I think we should be able to say as much as we want about fat people. People need to be shamed.
So, in all seriousness, and there's also been a lot of layoffs this year, and Powell pointed out that the jobs report, we've lost 1.6 million full-time jobs since the end of third quarter.
I like how you said that like Austin Powers. $1 million.
No, but you know what they've been replaced with? But they've been replaced by part-time jobs. And the people with second jobs, according to the Fed, has now crossed 6.25%. So guess what? Wall Street looks good, ladies and gentlemen, because the layoffs and things allow Wall Street to show profit, and they've raised prices in response to inflation. But Main Street is not having a good time, and Powell says, I'm not going to move the rates. And for all of you people that are thinking, I'm not going to move the rates around the election, I don't think we're going to move the rates more than once this year. That's the story.
That is scary as hell for a lot of people. But not if you're trying to buy a house.
Yay!
Not up in here.
You're trying to buy a house. I think this summer is going to be a good season.
You let me know when.
You know, it's interesting you say that, Pat, because we talked about it in the last podcast, but I connected the dots. I did some research. In Florida, Florida is one of the 3 states that has the highest credit card delinquency rates. And houses are starting to come on the market in Florida. Yeah. And it used to be, I don't want to sell my 3%, my 4% mortgage house and put the money in my pocket and then go buy a house with 7%. Now it's, I'm broke, my credit card is up, I got to get the equity. Hey, honey, maybe we'll sell the house and rent. And so houses are coming on the market in Florida. Inventories come up, and prices are edging down.
I'm buying.
Yeah,
Pat,
I got it.
Wow.
This is not speculation by the BizDoc. This is, I looked at data, and especially in northern Florida, it's also happening. Wow. By the way, it's happening a lot in Austin, and it's happening a lot in South Carolina.
Pat, guess what? You might have a new neighbor soon.
We're seeing it.
You might have a new neighbor soon.
By the way,
come on down, Dougie.
Pat, it's not just, if we want to stay on the economy for a second, it's not just little houses. It's not just little houses.
It's big. That's why I'm going to move next to Pat.
Who loans you money?
No, not.
Who loans you money for a mortgage for a house?
A bank.
A bank. And what if the bank is loaned like a whole bunch of money for people being big giant houses for companies called buildings?
Oh my God. Commercial real estate.
Commercial real estate.
So let's go into that, because I think that's the part I want to go to next. So here's what I want to go to next. All right. So why hundreds of U.S. banks may be at risk of failure. CNBC story. You could see some banks either fail or at least, dip below their minimum capital requirements. Christopher Wolf, managing director and head of North American banks at Fitch Ratings, told CNBC consulting firms, Claris Group, analyzed about 4,000 U.S. banks. And here we go. Found 282 banks faced the dual threat of commercial real estate loans and potential losses tied to higher interest rates. The majority of these banks are smaller lenders with less than $10 billion in assets. Most of these banks aren't solvent or even close to insolvent. They're just stressed, Brian Graham said. Co-founder and partner of Claris Group told CNBC. That means there will be fewer bank failures, but it doesn't mean that communities and customers don't get hurt by that stress. Tom?
So there is a crisis that's about to happen. And so he's saying, you heard he said, there'll be fewer bank failures. What do you mean fewer bank failures? That's like saying, hey, when the hurricane just passes by, there'll be less rain, but it's still raining.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on. Here's a number for you. $962 billion of commercial paper refinancing in the next 18 months, ending around end of second quarter next year. So actually, we're coming up on a year.
12 months, yeah.
Yeah, it's 12 months out. I was thinking since the beginning of this year. $962 billion.
Nah.
Now, if the rates go down, that way they could refinance. Oh, wait a minute. The Fed just said the rates will be higher longer. Uh-oh.
Getting warm.
So there may be fewer bank failures, but there's going to be bank failures. There's going to be commercial real estate that goes into receivership. And this isn't going to be like 1928 and the Great Depression, but you're going to see a ton of this stuff, and the big private equity firms and Jamie Dimon are ready for it because their balance sheets are ready to pounce.
And it's interesting that they use that term. They're not going to be insolvent. They're just stressed. So if you ever go to a doctor, they're going to do something called a stress test on you. They do the same thing for banks. Basically, how much money, how much cash reserves do you have in the house? Basically, the FDIC, what is it, $250,000 if you anything above that. Basically. So I remember when you interviewed your buddy, your good buddy from WAMU.
The best interview ever.
Oh, yes.
I actually enjoyed it. Yeah. He was upset. I was happy about it.
So we've seen
his wife was screaming in the hallway.
Yeah, so, I mean, what do you expect? But they couldn't pass the stress test. I think they lost, what, $300 billion?
They went from being a $330 billion company, WAMU, to Chase buying them for $1.9 billion.
Yeah. So that was the biggest bank failure, and that was obviously in 2008 because it was all tied to the mortgage. What was the term that they used for mortgage? Well, no income, no assets, but the toxic mortgage.
Also, mark to market. The value of the assets dropped, and suddenly.
But that was the biggest bank failure in American history. But all the other biggest bank failures we've ever seen in American history were in the last 12 months. Signature Bank, First Republic, Silicon Valley. I think First Republic had $200 billion insolvent. Silicon Valley, another $200 billion. Signature Bank, $100 billion. These banks better be ready to pass the stress test. The first time it was tied to mortgages. Now it's tied to interest rates, correct?
And big commercial property.
Yep.
Yeah. He who has cash right now is in a nice place. He who has cash, he can buy a lot of things for a discount, especially now that inflation is not going lower. Mm-hmm. And by the way, Tom, if all of a sudden unemployment rates climb, just so everybody knows, this is the one thing that Jerome Powell is not going to know how to control. Can you go up to the unemployment rates right now, Rob? Just pull up unemployment rates in the States. Unemployment right now is what?
3.5%.
Is it 3.8%?
Find a chart for me. Find a chart.
Yeah, so right there, 3.8%.
It's creeping back up is the bad thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. By the way, if that thing, you see it's not staying flat, it's kind of going up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
If that thing, Vinny, goes to 4%, 4.5%, if it goes to 4.5%, if it touches 5%, again, the key word is if. We can put another short
allegedly.
But allegedly, if it touches 4.5%,
what happens?
You know what happens?
What?
That guy named Jerome Powell has to change his position and actually announce rate increase of a quarter of a basis point to a half a point. Yes or no?
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If that thing touches 4.5,
and let's just say, Pat, in the next couple of years, especially with AI taking over, and a lot of these people are going to be jobless, that is going to start going up. That's the biggest fear.
Allegedly.
I'm just saying it is going to happen.
The number that they want to keep it under is 5%, correct? But if it goes to 4.5%,
not 4. I don't think it happens at 4.
5.
I think at 4, look, it's only 0.2 away, right?
Yeah.
It goes
No,
to 4.
5 is the number that they're trying to keep this bad boy
is
under.
the number. I think if it goes to 4.5, Jerome Powell's going to take a.
Pat, I'm itching for a bet. Because you're going to lose money to me. You're going to lose money to me.
And
do you think it gets to 5?
No.
Okay.
By when?
I was going to take the under.
No.
By the election.
Oh, no.
And by the way, let's keep in mind.
No.
I'm just itching for a bet, guys.
No, I'm just saying AI is going to take a little while, but it's like you said.
You're right.
It's starting to creep up.
You're right.
Because what are those people going to, and then think about what's going to happen to society when all those people start losing jobs and they have no money.
Yeah.
Go think about that.
They're losing jobs now. The numbers behind the numbers on labor is scary. Q4, the net increase in jobs was part-time jobs. More full-time jobs were lost in Q4 than were created. It was a net decrease. The net jobs report in Q4 was part-time jobs. The net job increase in Q1 was part-time jobs. We have lost more full-time jobs than we've created going back to August of last year. So there is a shift that's going on in the labor base underneath, and that is the dirty little secret behind these jobs reports, which are politically driven. But the Fed, in all their footnotes, F-R-E-D, Federal Reserve Economic Data that comes out of St. Louis, they're putting it in the footnotes. It's there in the footnotes, but none of the mainstream media is talking about it. We're losing full-time jobs and replacing it with part-time jobs. McDonald's, as we said on the last podcast, had a tough earnings report and then warned everybody, and by the way, the full impact of $20 minimum wage in select market is going to hit me hard in Q2.
Tom, what was the Fred thing?
Federal Reserve Economic Data out of St. Louis. You can just look it up. It's called Fred. You go Fred data. And
Tom, let me tell you something. You're like Right Said Fred. Your stats are too sexy.
This is it. This is Fred. It's a public website by our federal government.
Yep.
And you would think that they would be hiding in it, but the footnotes are clear.
Too sexy.
All right, let's go to the next one.
We're just not talking about it.
This next one here is slightly different, whether it's unemployment or inflation. Boxer Ryan Garcia tests positive for banned substance. Okay, this came out last night out of nowhere. Star boxer Ryan Garcia tested positive for the performance-enhancing substance Ostarine the day before and the day of his upset win over Devin Haney last month, per voluntary anti-doping association letter sent to all parties Wednesday and obtained by ESPN. The urine samples were collected prior to the fight, but the results weren't known until later. Garcia has 10 days to request that his B sample be tested. Garcia's A sample has screened positive for 19 norendrosterone, but its presence, it's unconfirmed until further lab analysis. Ostarine is a selective androgen receptor modulator that attaches to proteins in the body and effectively tells muscles to grow. It is used to aid performance by helping athletes build muscle mass and enhance their rate of fat loss, and also increase stamina and recovery. And this is what Ryan had to say right afterwards. Go for it.
What's up, everybody? I came on here to address this bull fucking shit claim that I cheated.
Lies.
Yeah. Everybody knows that I don't cheat. What can I say? You know, why didn't they come out with this before, you know, the fight? If they found it before, why would they let me step into the ring as a cheater and then come out with the victory and then they post this, you know? Again, these are people that are trying to attack me for whatever reason, but no weapon against me shall prosper. I never taken steroid. I don't even know where to get steroids at the end of the day. I barely, you know, take supplements. They're saying it's coming from the ashwagandha. That's fucking retarded. So, at the end of the day, big lies. I beat his ass. Fuck out of here. Everybody go to Warwick tonight. It's lit.
And I was with this guy every.
That's great. I love how.
Fuck the Haneys.
Can you go to Twitter as well for his follow-up tweets?
I love him.
Yeah.
Ryan.
The most unpredictable.
It takes him a while to warm up, but then he says what's on his mind.
By the way, and I mean, it's kind of weird before, like, as he's about to show up, PBD, it's weird. Like, you know, they have the Pelosi tracker. Every time Nancy Pelosi touches a stock or she it automatically goes up. Right? It's weird. Well, what I'm saying is, like, think about this with him. Anybody that goes and says publicly they love Trump, notice how all of a sudden something bad happens to you, your career, your name. It's so weird because, like, by the way, you know, a piss test comes back like that. That's why they wait till right now to come after him. That's ridiculous.
Rob, go a little lower where he says that on the. Let's see what he says right after the video he posts. Let's just see what he tweeted. Keep going down, keep going down, keep going down.
Did he
right above the video. So there's a video. Go to the top. So I need more steroids. I'm addicted. Okay, so then next, I find out who create this lie. Now I'm going to release everyone's. Okay, time to expose. Okay, next. The glove does not fit. Next. I'm seen with Trump, and now I'm positive steroids.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Keep going. Next. Okay, if I took the steroids, then I'm for sure gay. Go next. They're trying to take my greatest victory away. Kind of sad when you think about it. I don't care. I love God, and He'll make it right. Next is, I'm going to rematch him. I beat him easy, fair and square. But go to Gervonta Davis, because even Gervonta Davis responded to this, saying
Gervonta's the guy that beat him last time.
Tank.
Like 6 months ago or a year ago.
So zoom in a little bit on what he says. Keep going a little lower, because he says something about this. He commented about this. Go lower. See if you find it. April 30th. No, then he doesn't have.
I want to know what Devin Haney had to say about this.
Yeah,
of course he's going to say something negative.
Gervonta said the fact that, you know, this is suspicious what they're doing to him. It's kind of weird that they're saying he's doing steroids now. But go to Devin Haney's comments. Devin Haney specifically said, Gervonta Davis on Ryan Garcia. There's a part where Devin Haney made a comment, like literally, they made a statement, a comment. So Gervonta Davis said the following. I just found it. He said, Gervonta Davis called that Eddie Hearn. Yeah, so Gervonta Davis is saying Eddie Hearn is behind this. And remember, Eddie Hearn is the guy that Ryan Garcia's father went up to after the fight.
The guy from England?
Yeah, so in response to Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis came out swinging, expressing his support for Garcia and calling out repercussions against promoter Eddie Hearn. Davis took to social media to voice his outrage at the attempt to discredit Garcia's victory over Devin Haney, bluntly stating, "They doing anything to take away the win from Ryan." In a show of solidarity with his fellow boxer, Davis condemned what is perceived as a concerted effort to undermine his achievements. This is Gervonta. So, however, Davis didn't stop there. In a scathing rebuke directed at promoter Devin Haney, Davis minced no words, calling for drastic action in response for the controversy. If that's the case, banned Eddie Hearn, silver spoon ass, Davis claims, suggesting that Hearn should face consequences if the allegations against Garcia are indeed proven false. I mean, that's pretty... Davis has Tank has nothing to gain from saying something like this.
Absolutely not.
Nothing to gain from saying something like this. And then Devin Haney responds back on Ryan Garcia. Rob, if you got that, it's a whole statement on what they said. They said, "We learned about this situation not too long ago, and it's unfortunate Ryan cheated and disrespected both the fans and the sports of boxing by fighting dirty and breaking positive, not once but twice. This puts the fight in a complete different light." He says, "Our lives are on the line when we're fighting, et cetera, et cetera." So that's the angle Devin Haney is taking. Is that the one? I've always been an advocate of clean fighting, and this is an example of such. Ryan owes the fans an apology, and by his recent tweet, he still thinks this is a joke. We put our lives on the line to entertain people. You don't play boxing. This puts the fight in a completely different light. Despite this disadvantage, I still fought on my shield and got back up. People die in this sport. This isn't a joking matter.
Okay, that's somebody that got their ass whooped.
No, that sounds like a lawyer wrote that.
Yeah, basically. Well, I was just going to say, he did not write that, but that sounds like a guy that got his ass whooped and wants to take any of that sting away from it. Bro, he got manhandled in that ring, and Ryan's not going to fight that guy again. Ryan's moving on. Ryan's moving on to the next
Here's
fight.
what I've learned about Ryan Garcia. Number one, he's taken the Trump playbook. Rigged election, rigged fight. What's the quote that he just put out there? Basically, they're trying to take this away from me, just like they're taking this down to Donald Trump. He's tying his name to the biggest brand in the world, potentially.
He was hanging
Donald
out
Trump.
He was hanging out with him.
Exactly. It's a rigged election. Chilling. Obviously, he knows he was
the
at
video
Mar-a-Lago.
of him boxing in front of Trump.
Respect to you on that, Ryan. Ryan is arguably the number one troll in the world right now. There he is right now. We've talked about trolls. We've talked about Elon. We've talked about Jake Paul. Look at this. In front of Trump.
Look at Barron on the
line. But to knock Barron out real quick.
Dude, look at this guy.
He's fast, dude. But, there's a famous saying in media, and it came from the one and only P.T. Barnum and Bailey. Say whatever you want about me, just spell my name right. And what's Barnum and Bailey? The greatest show on earth. Ryan Garcia. His name, how much was his name mentioned a year ago? Minimal. We knew who he was. We talk about Canelo more than we talk about Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia has taken a page from the playbook of Donald Trump, brilliant marketer, and P.T. Barnum and Bailey, the circus, the greatest show on earth. He says, say whatever you want about me, just spell my mother flipping name right.
By the way, look how close his fist is to Donald Trump's chin. We're Secret Service probably like, yo. He might have away from your. Well, look at Donald Trump's fist is getting a little bit tightened up.
I heard his fist was a little orange.
By the way, did you guys forget about this right here? Right? I mean, obviously they're going to go through the process, and we'll find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Did you see what happened with De La Hoya and Canelo yesterday?
No.
Tell me you guys didn't see. Oh, this was great because we're going to see it together for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, you didn't see it.
Nope.
De La Hoya, there's a big fight coming up. It's a real fight. This other guy can actually beat him, okay? It can actually beat Canelo. During the fight, Rob, if you can, I just texted it to you. During the press conference, De La Hoya is going up to call the fight and, say what he says about his fighter that he's representing. He decides to say that every success Canelo has had is because of Golden Boy. If it wasn't for him, And it got so ugly that Canelo was ready to throw that.
Who's Canelo with?
Canelo left Golden Boy, Oscar, and told Ryan Garcia to never trust Oscar.
Wow.
And then later on, you have to hear what Canelo says in Spanish.
Oh, I can't wait.
He says it in front of the boxer that De La Hoya is representing. He's telling the other boxer, saying, look, mijo, whatever you're doing, just make sure your lawyers watch everything because that guy steals from everybody. Play this clip. Go ahead.
Yeah.
The company you fought under for decades has always had one name, and it's mine. So put some fucking respect on it.
Golden Boy.
Remember when Jaime was 21 years old,
Look what he's saying to him.
volunteered to step in against Triple G, and Canelo failed 2 drug tests? Though Jaime wasn't allowed to fulfill his dream, 2018, on Saturday night, he will do just that. Fulfill his dream and be world champion.
Tienen que escribirle lo que tiene que decir este pinche maricón, cabrón. Tú lo escribes. ¿Qué lo escribes, pendejo? Tú no escribes nada, cabrón. Tú no haces nada. Tú no haces nada. Yo lo escribí. Eres un pendejo, eso es lo que eres.
That's the boxer.
Oh, yo pendejo.
Cabrón, porque están nomás ahí.
Cabrón,
los que hacen
pendejo.
todos son los que están detrás de ti. Tú eres un pendejo nomás con la imagen, idiota.
Sí.
Oh, you have to hear the translation of what Canelo said.
Tom, what is he saying?
No, not even this part. Canelo, what he said.
You know, the pendejo cabrón, that's not good.
No, of course.
Okay.
Of course. But
So the first part was, I disagree with you, my fine man. Can you please
this is it. I found it.
retract your previous statement?
Rob, let me send this to you. Rob, play this clip. Oh, man. And by the way,
Can't wait.
This guy, Canelo, says the nicest things about the fighter. He says, just watch out. He's going to steal from you.
That's it.
He tells him to watch out. Oscar could steal from you.
Okay.
So play this clip, Rob. And it's the English is there, the bottom one.
Oh, the subtitle.
Watch this one here, okay?
I think he said something along the lines like, I've seen you in a
Watch
G-string.
this. Go back a little bit. Go back a little bit and see if you have the audio. Go back from the beginning, Rob. Watch it.
Imbécil intento de gente que tengo aquí a mi izquierda, que no se le olvide que yo
Go
ya
back,
vine
Rob, so I
siendo
can read it for
Canelo.
Spotify podcast people. And for this imbecile of a person to my left.
Imbécil intento de gente que tengo aquí a mi izquierda, que no se le olvide.
Don't forget that I was already Canelo in the U.S. He only profited from my name. We never lost a penny. We only made money. Did you already pay Golovkin what you wanted to steal from him? Yes? Very good. But if my lawyers didn't get involved, you would have stolen it. The only thing this man does is scam boxing.
Wow.
He steals from boxers. Those who are with him should lawyer up because he's stealing from them.
Wow.
And he's only here to steal attention from Jaime Munguia. He's not here to promote him. I mean, this is, by the way,
them fighting words.
Yeah. So he represented Canelo for many years.
Yeah.
Was Golden Boy?
Golden Boy.
He was Golden Boy. Ryan's Golden Boy. Everybody was Golden Boy.
So
that is not trash talking. Now that is testimony.
How credible is this? You've seen some of these rumors about
you
De La Hoya.
You talk to Hispanics. That's who you got to talk. Text Ricky. After this, text Ricky and just ask.
Ricky still owes me $500. That guy
does he really?
He has no credibility here.
Ricky.
You try to pay me in pennies, pendejo.
¿Qué pasó, man?
Tom, what do you think when you hear this, Tom?
I think that Adam shouldn't say things like that about Ricky.
Because like two of us is scared of somebody.
No,
pendejo.
I'm not scared of Ricky. I just respect his work as a dentist, and he could do some work on you.
I'm more scared of Pretty Ricky than I am of Ricky.
Yeah.
No, what do I think? Honestly, I think this was not trash talking. This was not trash talking. I said a minute ago, that wasn't trash talking. That was like, you come over here and tell me you It wasn't something like that.
No.
He was laying out testimony.
Seriously.
And he wasn't saying, hey, you're a jerk. And he was telling them, lawyer up. Go find the money. I found money. My lawyers made sure this other guy got paid. Lawyer up. Go find the money. Whenever someone lays it out like that, PBD, I tend to think, I think where there's smoke, there's fire. And I think there's something there. And he's very, very clearly not laying out a criticism. He's laying out a challenge. So what if all those boxers get lawyers and say, hey, I checked everything. Everything was clean. Everything was clean with Golden Boy Productions. This all worked out. That's all De La Hoya has to do, isn't it? But if those boxers go get lawyers and then find out, guess what? I was missing something from my last fight. I got it back. Guess what? The guy to lose something here is De La Hoya.
Right. I want to bring it back to Garcia, to Ryan. What was his experience with this? Did he get paid? Did he get ripped off by De La Hoya? What was it? What did he have to say about that?
Well, the first time Ryan was on the podcast, he didn't have, too many good things to say about Oscar.
Can I say one thing, though?
Yeah.
Not to cut you off.
Yeah.
But I'll do it anyway.
Canelo needs to be careful because I don't know if you guys have seen photos of Oscar. Rob, can you show? Like, this looks like a guy that will whoop your ass and then stand over you in a fishnet and be like, yo, I did this.
Why are you going to try my guy?
By the way, I'm going to tell you this, okay?
I mean,
that guy's a stud.
Hey,
this was a picture that Paul Pelosi had in his phone.
By the way,
Listen.
for what it's worth, have you actually gone back and watched his fight with Mayweather?
Him with Mayweather?
Have you watched the fight with him and Mayweather?
Not recently. I watched him with Tito Ortiz.
Obviously, I don't care about the cocaine, all that. He openly talks about the mistakes he's made, whatever, right? I'm going to tell you, go watch the Mayweather fight with De La Hoya.
Was it only one fight?
Yeah, they only had one fight.
Okay.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
This guy,
he's a beast,
was no joke, ridiculous.
Oh, he's a nasty
He
fighter.
was, but in an interview, he asked, in an interview, he was asked about, well, listen, for what it's worth, he is, if Oscar asked if he fought Canelo, who would win? Okay, have you seen this interview? It's a short clip where he's being asked, and the way he answers it, okay? Oscar asked, he says, is this the one? Yeah, no, he says, if I were to fight Canelo, he says, I would beat Canelo and it wouldn't even be close.
Like now?
No, he said at his prime versus his prime, he says, and it wouldn't even be close. So look, I mean, these are the types of comments you make that you're going to piss off a guy like Canelo, who is like the face right now, and, they're going to go back and forth. But anytime you want to know within the Hispanic, Mexican community, specifically Mexican community, because this is what Canelo said is, what I love about this is that two Mexicans are going to be fighting on the day, right? Yeah. Which is always, you want that fight. It's the Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. Oh, it's on Cinco de Mayo.
It's going to be an awesome fight is what it is, right? So there's a part of it that people are looking forward to it, and Canelo is really the face of true Mexican fighters today. It's Canelo.
It's him.
Canelo speaks to that community. Anyways.
When all is said and done.
There's always been three Oscar De La Hoyas. One of the most gifted technical boxers of all time.
Beautiful fighter. I mean, just watching the fight was insane.
Insane. And
Trinidad, I saw
the
that
man
fight.
after the fighting, an athlete trying to find his way and getting himself in sideways a couple of things. And then finally, the promoter. Those are the three Oscars.
Yeah.
And Oscar the promoter gets a lot of criticism. Oscar the boxer gets zero criticism. One of the most gifted, amazing technical boxers you ever see.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. And by the way, guess what he's doing right now? He's making us talk. Right?
Yep.
There's a part of it that is making us talk as well. Mm-hmm. And this is going to sell tickets. Because guess what this is going to do to me?
Now I want to watch the fight on Saturday. Because of what you just did, I want to watch on Saturday.
Bro, we probably just sold 10,000 pay-per-views right now. So, but he probably just sold a ton of pay-per-view. The point is, there's an element of this madness that is not necessarily, like Ryan was doing stuff, you're like, what the hell is he doing? Yeah. There's a little bit of madness to promoting that you got to also kind of. It's like when some people are very good at talking dirty. Like let's just say, like it's okay. Someone's like, hey, I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do that to you. There's like a gift to it, right? That you kind of go through.
One of the frameworks of leadership is madness.
Pat, if
it is true from SLS.
If Canelo continues down this path and Garcia continues down this path, legacy-wise, who will be known as, of those three guys that we just discussed, the greatest Hispanic boxer of the generation? Ryan Garcia, Canelo Alvarez, or Jose De La Hoya? Because I think
Jose De La Hoya. Jose is like Oscar's cousin.
Oscar De La Hoya.
Mira, Jose De La Hoya.
Hey, man.
He's offended right now. He's in Michoacan. Right? He's coming right after you.
Lo siento, mi amigos de Hispánica. Who would it be?
Well, Ryan's still young.
I'm saying if we continue down this path.
Was a flyweight.
De La Hoya, Canelo, Ryan Garcia. Who's going to be 1, 2, 3 legacy-wise?
I think, honestly, if you ask me today, I hate people are not going to like my answers. Today, I'll write mine down. Everybody write yours down.
Wait, but you can't.
Rob, why don't you put it down on a poll as well? I'm going to give you mine.
What is it, Adam? What's the question one more time?
Of the three boxers we just discussed, Oscar De La Hoya, not Jose, Canelo Alvarez, and Ryan Garcia are friend.
Yeah.
Who will go down legacy-wise of the greatest of those three?
Career's not over yet. Today.
No. Legacy.
Legacy, same.
In 10 years from now.
I don't know. I don't know what.
Okay.
But the way you do it is today. If you rank the three today.
Oh, if you rank them today?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have mine. It'd be Oscar's legacy. It'd be Canelo second. Ryan's too young. Ryan hasn't.
That's exactly what I have.
Yeah, Ryan's.
I have Oscar, Canelo, Ryan today.
I'm saying when all is said and done.
It's
like saying who will be known as the greatest of all time? LeBron, Giannis, or Luka? Yeah. Right?
Okay, I got to go to a flight.
We got to do
but I
that,
gave
dude. But you got to give props to Oscar of what he built and what boxing was and what his personality and performance did to that sport and for the Mexican-American community. It was incredible. There's like 5 angles on there that was the
I'll give you one last
beauty
angle.
of ODH.
Oscar de la Hoya, Canelo, none of them get eyeballs like Ryan Garcia has learned to do. Number 1 troll in the world, greatest show in boxing at this point.
And
he's just getting started.
I'm just getting.
We're the intention economy, and he's doing it.
But by the way, what is the biggest top 10? Look, watch this. Pull up top 10 biggest pay-per-view boxing fights of all time. I'm assuming Tyson's going to be 10 of them.
Well, I was going to say, what about Oscar?
All right, watch this.
Mayweather and
that's exactly what I'm trying to find. So number 10 is Tyson Roy Jones. What? That fight? The fake fight. Mayweather Cotto's 9. Tyson McNeely. Holyfield Tyson 2. Gervonta Davis Ryan Garcia 6. Okay. 5 is Lennox Lewis Tyson. Ready for all top 4? Top 4 biggest pay-per-view buys ever in history of boxing. Number 4, Mayweather De La Hoya. Number 3, Mayweather Canelo. Number 2, Mayweather Conor. And number 1, Mayweather Pacquiao. Wow. So guess what? Ryan is on there with Davis, but they came to watch Ryan on that one.
Yeah.
I would say it's 50. And when they fought Mayweather De La Hoya, they probably came to watch Mayweather. So Ryan's on that list, and there's none of the top 10 is Canelo, not one.
Correct.
So, hey, listen, Ryan's on track to be there. Ryan's just got to make sure the next few fights he's able to promote him, but he's up there. Mayweather, it's a sweep. Mayweather's top 4 for 4.
Floyd money Mayweather for a reason.
You ready for the dollar amount? Check this out. I'll give you the dollar amount. So read it right there. Tyson Roy Jones, $80 million. Floyd Mayweather, Cotto, $94. Tyson McNeely, $96. Holyfield Tyson, $100. Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, $102. Lennox Lewis Tyson, $112. Mayweather De La Hoya, $136. Mayweather Canelo, $150. Mayweather Conor, $396. Mayweather Pacquiao, $400.
Yep. And don't forget, one last thing. Of every single boxer we just named, including all the greats, who's the only one who's undefeated?
Floyd.
Money Mayweather.
So there you go, man.
Gotta give him respect.
Gotta give him
Put some
props.
respect
Anyway,
on his name.
All right, so gang, have a great weekend. Enjoy the Derby. Enjoy the fight. Enjoy, I think also Formula One Miami is going on as well.
Yeah,
F1 in Miami.
They're here this weekend.
This is a wild weekend. Have a great weekend. Shout out to Mario Aguilar upstairs.
Mario's birthday.
Turning 37 years old. If you know Mario Aguilar personally, send him a text, DM him, Instagram. He's on Connect. Mario Aguilar. Wish him a happy birthday. 37 years old today. And you got a Saucecast going on.
Saucecast today, 4 p.m. All about the money, crypto, Bitcoin. Jordan Welch will be on. Rand Nooner will be on. All about the money.
Tune in. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.